Recording on?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay, fine. Welcome back to the project management session. So we know what is project, what is program management, what is portfolio management. We know about what is traditional ways of managing the project and managing project in an agile way. Now let us deep dive inside project management. So as we discussed, each project will undergo 5 stages: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. And we have got 10 knowledge areas: integration, scope, time, cost, quality, human resource management, communication, risk management, procurement management. In the project management book, fifth edition, they added stakeholder management. In the year 1996, Project Management Institute USA released the first PMBOK. The year 1996, some 100 plus pages. Then once in every 4 years, they started revising the PMBOK book, Project Management Body of Knowledge. There is no authors for this book. Here, the globally practicing project managers, they will assemble and they will discuss. I have done number of projects in this industry. My project was successful. My project was failure. These are the reason for my success. These are the reason for the failure. Then the project management professionals, they will gather all the knowledge. They will put together. It will become a collective wisdom. Today, what we have is PMBOK 6th edition. It has got close to 970 pages. In PMBOK 4th edition, there were only 9 knowledge areas. There was no stakeholder management. In the 5th edition, they added stakeholder management. In the 6th edition, they added agile. So it keeps on getting updated once in every 4 years. And let us accept project management is a evolving domain. Now COVID came. In the new normal situation, how are you going to manage the projects? Yes, you have plan for time management, you have plan for cost management, you have plan for human resource management. Think about these COVID situations. Today, all the migrant laborers are leaving their work spot and they want to go and see their family in villages. Where is the problem? You have a human resource management plan in place. Whatever plan you have now, that will not work out. High absenteeism will be there. Lot of safety expected issues will arise. And you look at procurement management. You are doing a project. I am constructing a house. I know how many kg cement I need, how many kg what steel I need. You have all the plan in place. But now, because of COVID situation, some of your vendors, I don't know where they are in the business. Lot of MSMEs are suffering now. So whatever plan you have, earlier you have a time management plan, I will complete my project within 12 months. Because of COVID, you will not be able to complete your project in 12 months. Which means here your project becomes naturally agile. You are not able to complete your project as per your plan, then go and identify the new set of activity and go to the management and ask how many more months you need. Once you extend triple constraint, once you extend the time, your cost will increase. Then naturally it is going to impact your cost management plan. I don't know much about quality management because whatever cement you buy, whatever steel you buy, I think they will be delivering as per the quality requirement. So I don't foresee much changes in quality management. Communication is another important thing in COVID, in the new normal. Government is coming out with a lot of changes and guidelines every day. One day they will say 33% people can work in the organization. Next day they say 50% of people may be allowed to work in the organization. Then how do you communicate to your people? In companies like PwC, they are telling if you are managing a project, if your project team members are unable to come and join your project, we have resources. They will come and restart the project from where you left. So, lot of challenges are there in COVID. Stakeholder management. In this COVID kind of situation, stakeholder management has become a bigger thing. It's not only providing the employment. You have to meet all the government regulations. We will talk more about stakeholder management. Stakeholder management was added to project management body of knowledge in PM BOK 5th edition. I said that I will spend more time on stakeholder management because most of the problem, both in your professional life and personal life, will have problem in stakeholder management. And trust me, project management is not a professional skill. Project management is a life skill. That's why students from abroad, they are learning project management at the age of 13 years. So how many of you know this bridge in Trichy? What is this? These first three photographs I captured during my last visit to Trichy. Can anybody point out?
It is near the railway station, sir. The bridge.
Not exactly this. Bridge originates from railway station, I agree. But where is this point? Do you remember? Have you seen this bridge?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is this compound? Can anybody point out what is this? This comes on the Trichy Pudukottai, that high road. This road will come and join on our Madras bypass. If you take left, you come to Palpannai. If you take right, you will go to Madurai. Okay. This is a bridge, road over bridge. There are four sides. This side 2 kilometers, this side 2 kilometers, this side 2 kilometers, this side 2 kilometers. Three sides you have completed the bridge. There is a circle in between, center. Three sides you completed, you connected the bridge and the road. Three sides of the bridge are functioning now, open for general public. The fourth side, which connects the Chennai bypass, which was left like this for past 4-5 years. As per their plan, they supposed to complete this project few years ago. You know what was the reason? Close to 2,000 square feet of army land falls. So while initiating the project team did not consider army as a key stakeholder. Imagine a situation, they considered army as a key stakeholder. Before digging, start constructing, go and have a discussion with the army, ask them whether will you give me the land or not. 2,000 square feet is not much big, one house, similar to your house. Army will say yes or no.
Yes.
Army says yes, it is well and good. Construct it. If army says no, from the design stage itself, you can make some changes. So that this bridge will join somewhere here only. The 2 kilometer you can plan accordingly, and if they have designed. But what happened here? Ruling party was ADMK. Jayalalitha was there that point in time, and even center they had lot of support from BJP government, and local MP was from ADMK party. They thought we are in power, we can get the land. But till date, army, they have not yet given the land. They constructed 3 sites. Because of the 2000 square feet land, they were unable to complete the project. If suppose if they want to redo, they want to work around in project management terminology, we call it workaround. Something goes wrong in the project, go and redo that particular activity is called workaround. If you do workaround here, go and demolish the bridge for some 500 meters, again reconstruct and land it somewhere here. That is quite possible. This has happened, according to me, only because of poor stakeholder management. How many of you know this building? What is this building? The below. How many of
Sir,
Chennai?
government hospital was, sir, I'm from Chennai.
You are from Chennai, okay. Deepak Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Deepak, when they launched this project, what was this building? When they launched, they
It was
completed,
actually-
they inaugurated, what was this building mean for?
It was actually used as the assembly for TN state government and later
Okay.
converted into hospital.
Okay. What was the reason? Because this building thought process was consumed by the DMK government and built during DMK government and inaugurated by the Prime Minister of India. But while doing this project, the ruling party did not consider opposite party as a stakeholder. They thought we are in power, we are the project team, let me construct the building, they let us inaugurate the building. They neglected the opposition party. They did not apply proper risk management. Okay, we are completing the building. After a few years, again election will come. Whether I will win or I will not win, there is a risk. So in case the risk management, in case if you don't win, then who will occupy the building? The opposition party will become a ruling party, they will occupy the building. If they would have done this thought process, they would have gone to the opposition leader and spoke to them, see, either you will be in power or I will be in the power. Either any one of us are going to occupy in the after next election. You tell me what kind of room you need, how many square feet you need, what is the vastu you want. Take their input and build one room for as per the wills and wishes of the opposition party leader. I don't think so they would have taken this decision. Anyway, today it is a noble cause. It has become a hospital and it is really helping people a lot. Later on, an assembly building was converted into a hospital. Becoming a hospital, it is a good thing, but did it fulfill the project objective? Project objective was to have a assembly, secretariat building. But they ended up in becoming a hospital. Here again, the stakeholder management plays a vital role. Stakeholder and risk management, both. So in project management, scope is important. What is included in your project, what is not included in your project. Time management, cost management, communication management is very, very important. And then risk management. Think, when you do project, what you take 3 scenarios we are always comparing. Even Professor Punyamurthy was mentioning. Optimistic, pessimistic, and the third one is most probable. Thing we do and we calculate, we find out how much money we need, how much duration you need. Think about one case. In your cross-functional team, somebody says weirdly, if any pandemic comes, how do you manage? If somebody would have thought about this, they would have better prepared for COVID-like situations. Pandemic is not new to the world. It comes and goes once in 100 years. So there we need, that's why when you make risk-based thinking, you have to imagine and capture it, and if it affects your project, take some actions. If you don't do it, then it would become a problem. Quality management, procurement management, human resource management, and the last one was stakeholder management. So as a project manager, you are going to look into all the areas. Yesterday I shared a Excel sheet with you. In that Excel sheet, total 49 processes are there. That one probable questions that occur in your mind is, do you want me to follow all the 49 processes in my project? As a project management practitioner, you must know about all the 49 processes, but it is not necessary to follow all the 49 processes in your project. As a project team, you can decide out of 49 how many you want to follow. Something like you are not procuring any material for your project from outside. Then you can eliminate all the 3 or 4 processes related to procurement management. Same way, if you look at each area, each 10 knowledge areas, identify what is applicable for your project. But don't eliminate risk management. Risk management, stakeholder management, please don't eliminate. That is very important for any project. So as a team, you can identify, I can apply 30 processes. I can apply 40 processes. Once you do this, which will give you the very high probability of achieving your project. So I spoke about I went a little fast. Okay, scope management, time management. We spoke a little explanation of what is what. Okay, this one already I shared with you. Please glance it through. It's very easy to remember. It's look like very complicated. Look at the planning group. Planning group will have a plan for all the areas. Planning group will spread across all the 10 knowledge areas. Remember that. The rest of the things we can glance through. No need to remember by verbatim. At least remember the 49. Once you know the 49 processes, you will be able to manage your project effectively. To know about this, all the 49 process, you will have to undergo a 35 hours training. There are training modules are available that will run close to 35 hours. So now we know what is project, program management, portfolio management, and knowledge areas, knowledge process groups, another thing. There is a word called project management. What is project management? Project management is the application of the knowledge, skills, tools, and technique to your project activities in order to meet the set objective, meet or exceed the customer requirements. So as a project manager, you identify what you are going to do in your project, look at the 49 processes, pick the toolkits, what is required, then you apply accordingly. That is called project management. So application of the project management, if you see, the initiating phase, you have to get formal permission from the steering committee, the sponsor of the project. And then if you look at this example is something like you are constructing a house. So constructing a house, who all are the key stakeholders? Father, mother, husband, wife, and children. Discuss with them. Yes, we want a house. Then decide how many scope, 3-bedroom, cost, and time. And the family will discuss within your family. You say, okay, go ahead with the construction of the house. So this comes in your initiating phase. Once it is done, What you do? Initiated planning stage, drawing a house on a paper. Then give it to a construction agencies. Then construction agencies will further fine tune your house. Then again have stakeholder meeting. Then you will identify this was the house I want to construct. Then construct the house. Which means here, after initiating, planning and constructing the house as per your plan becomes execution. And while doing this, you go and monitor whether you are progressing as per your plan. Then, once house is constructed, your father, mother are happy, you are happy, your child is happy to have that study room and everything. Then, you go for the Garga Pravesam. Go live. That is closing the project. So, here if you look at this, project termination, closing is nothing but pay money to your vendors. Sometimes you build the house, have the Graha Pravesam, you don't close the accounts, you don't pay money to your construction agencies, then you will not be able to close the project. In order to close the project, you have to pay money to all your vendors and close the books of account. You do it, then only we can close the project. This is a simple way of understanding project management. If you look at any software company, what is happening? Initiate, identify the process owner, make your project management organization, form the project team, then do the scheduled estimate, cost estimate, and make the project charter, get it approved. Then in the planning phase, prepare communication, stakeholder, risk management, whatever the 10 knowledge process you identified, make the plan for that and select the right tool. And then execute, create the concept, validate the concept, authorize, test, and have the training plan. And have the system solution creation, unit and integration test, you do it. Then get the user acceptance test. Then close it, go live. And your monitoring and control would take place, review the situation, gather the evidence, analyze the evidence, whether I am spending right kind of money, am I progressing, if I am not progressing, what can I do to complete my project on time, whether I need more money or more resources, you can go and seek from your project steering group. When you initiate any project, from finance point of view, you have to know management reserve and contingency reserve. Suppose tomorrow your management says you to initiate a project, you come out with a budget estimation, I need 1 lakh rupee to complete the project. What you will ask? 1 lakh plus another rough cut estimate, you put 1,20,000, you put as your project budget, and you will ask for contingency reserve. If anything goes wrong, I need another 10-20% of the project cost. Imagine management gives you 20,000 rupees. So you have your project cost 1,20,000, contingency reserve is another 20,000. Contingency reserve may be used, you have spent your 1,20,000, you have not yet completed the project, you need money. At that point in time, you can go and take money from the contingency reserve. For taking money from this contingency reserve, there is no need to take any permission. Project manager, he himself will say, take money I have, you spend it. Suppose imagine a situation, 1,20,000 I spent, contingency reserve 20,000 I spent, 1.4 lakhs I spent, still I have not completed the project. Then you go to the steering committee, go and tell the steering committee, I spent the project budget, I am exhausted with this contingency reserve. In order to continue my project, I need more money. Can you give money from the management reserve? Trust me, each project will have management reserve. But How much money management reserve has, nobody knows. Only steering committee knows. Even project manager, he himself will not be told how much is their management reserve. Then what would management will do? Management will do earned value management. They will calculate my project is getting this many days delayed. Okay, if I give more money, when will you complete the project? If I complete the project, is there still I am getting revenue? Based on this thought process, steering committee would say, okay, I will give you this much money. Or sometimes some natural calamities happens like corona or tsunami came. You constructed the building, tsunami came and washed away. But you want to continue the project. You already spent your project money. What would you do? Then management say, don't worry. I know you spent all the money. We will give you the money required to reconstruct the new building from the management reserve. But generally, management will not tell you how much money they have it at management reserve. It is only known to the steering committee of the project. So once you know about this, there is something called sunk cost, SUNK. You started the project. At one point in time, management is coming and telling, this project is no longer needed. You spend 10 months in this project, you spend lot of money. It is not the project team's fault. Management is coming to come and telling, you are improving a old product. Now, headquarter has decided to launch a new product. So the new product will supersede the existing product. So there is no need to do any incremental innovation in the existing product. Then project will be closed down. People worked for 10 months, for example, they spend lot of money. Where will you take account of this money? So I spent 10 lakhs in this project. Management asked me to close down the project. Then all these 10 lakhs will go and sit in sunk cost in your balance sheet. In private organization like Microsoft bought all the Nokia plants for some 8.6 million rupees or something. Within 1 year, Microsoft realized that making mobile phone is not their cup of tea. So they decided they will write it off all the 8.6 million. The next year, it appeared in the sunk cost. So sunk cost is going to happen. So remember this terminology. During your interview, sometimes people ask, you are closing your project in a midway. You incurred cost. How do you account this cost? Then you have to tell sunk cost. Something like Agile project management, these are the latest trends. So these are the few key words you have to remember if you want to include project management in your resume. And you should know about all the 49 process at a higher level. Hope you all are with me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why project fail? Sometimes we don't have enough resources. While starting the project, people say, I will give you resource. After starting the project, you don't get the resources. Non-availability of the people, project will fail. That is called execution errors from my experience. Not enough time given to the project. When management asks, you complete this project within 3 months. It is the project manager's responsibility to go and make all the plan, time management plan, cost management plan, resource management plan. You make all the plan and go back to your management and tell, management wanted to complete this project within 3 months. However, after doing a detailed analysis, the team concluded it will take 6 months. Stand up and tell in the upfront, I need 6 months. Don't accept just because management is telling. You accept it, after 3 months, you will become a miserable failure. Sometimes project expectations are unclear. Go and get the project, what is in scope of the project, what is out scope of the project. Scoping of the project is very, 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 very important. And scope is one of the triangular constraint. Whether it's a 2-bedroom house, 3-bedroom house, or you want to include a parking lot or lawns, what is included, what is excluded. Make it very clear. Sometimes what happens, somebody comes and says, you are doing a project, I want something extra from this project. Simply blindly don't go and accept that. Take the input, come and discuss with your project team. There is an additional requirement came from the customer. Is it possible to include this additional requirement in your project? If project team feels, yes, we can include this additional requirement, then go and see the impact on your cost and time. Then make changes accordingly. Take the steering committee approval for making such changes. Stakeholders sometimes disagree regarding the expectation of the project, then it's a big thing, then don't start the project. Do the proper project planning tool. So these are the reasons why project fail in many organizations. And if you look at from employment perspective, by 2027, employers need 87.7 million project management practitioners in the world. If you look at the chart, there are 11 countries. If you look at India, the second country, we need 21.7 million project management people by 2027. And project management job growth is expected to grow by 33%. So it is better you can get some professional certification and make yourself industry ready. And remember, project management will remain with you. As a junior person, you will be a project team member. Once you gain some 5 to 6 years of experience, you will become a project manager. Once you become a general manager or head of the department, you will sit and review the project as a part of steering committee. So where can you get your project management certifications? Worldwide, these 5 organizations are known for giving project management certifications. The very widely known certification body is Project Management Institute USA. And the second one is the Prince2. Axelos, they have a certification called Prince2. Prince2, PMP and Prince2 are most widely known project management certification across the globe. And other reputed agencies are GPM, APMG, and APM. But to become a PMP, project management professional, you need to have 4,500 hours of project management experience. To gain this, at least you need to have 5 years of working experience. Then naturally you will have 5 years of project management experience. If you don't have that 5 years, if you are a fresher, then you can go for CAPM, Certified Associate of Project Management. The book for CAPM and PMP are one and the same. PM Box 6th edition. For PMP, there would be many situation-based questions. For CAPM, all theory questions. This is the only difference. So if you are interested, you can go and explore, you can learn project management. Sometimes it happens, if you look at this picture, this side, this person is doing 10-kilometer railway bridge. The other side, people are doing another 10-kilometer railway bridge. There is no program management. If you are doing a program management, both the project leader will come and sit and talk where they should join. This person did the project separately. This person did the project separately. When the joining point came, the track was totally different. So these kind of situations you can avoid if you deploy program management techniques. And end of the day, it is again teamwork and communications matter a lot. Lot of things are happening. I think I don't know Apollo or something. One of the satellite launch was a failure because one guy used the SA unit, another guy used that US and British measurement systems. They use different. So the software calculated a wrong, then it was a wrong landing. Don't think that everything is correct. When the reality came, otherwise you will end up in problem like this. Then you have to do a workaround. Okay, take 500 meters, go back, again bend it and join it. You can avoid the workarounds because workarounds will cost more money. Then you have to take money from the contingency reserve. If you don't have money from the contingency reserve, you go and get it from the management reserve. Then management will ask many questions to give the money. So linking it all together as a summary, initiate the project, do your detailed planning, and execute as per your planning, monitor and control and take the timely actions wherever you sleep, and close out. So in prepare, engage and deliver. Make the business case, make the proper planning, manage the project risk, do a effective communication, publish the status and budget of the project. And the end of the completion of the project, capture the lessons learned. What we do before we call for the project closure meeting, we have a best practice in place. Call the project team members, have a 2 to 3 hour meeting somewhere outside. Ask them what went well in your project, what did not go well in your project. Sir, our project meeting did not start as per our time. 10 people, out of 10 people, 3 people consistently came to the meeting late. Capture it. Then what you did, sir? Our coordination was excellent, our communication is excellent. Keep it. Keep the lessons learned. Because when you do a new project, you go and see the lessons learned. The kind of mistake what we made, the similar kind of mistake we will not do in the future project. For example, today we are executing a project on project management. Okay. In our risk register, we did not. I asked even Grace yesterday. It was timed 11:40. Our class may go up to 12:30. I anticipate a risk. In between the session, it will get disconnected. What will you do? It's a risk management. Okay. That point in time, the team discussed and told, no, sir, that will never happen. Okay. But exactly that thing happened 2 times today. So today's lessons learned from our project is the session is designed for 1 hour 15 minutes, and we had this thing was disconnected for 2 times. So lessons learned. Tomorrow when we have the session, how can we have the session uninterrupted for 75 minutes? Because tomorrow there is no inauguration. Only we are going to talk. So we can complete the session within 75 minutes. So at least 75 minutes duration, how can we do it? If you don't do the lessons learned, if you don't take any actions, every project will have the similar problem. Hope you all are with me.
Yes, sir.
This is what we do in real project management. Okay, let us come to the case study. Another 5 to 10 minutes we will spend on case study before we close the session for today. How many of you have not gone through the case study? All of you have studied the case study? Please unmute yourself. Now it is going to be a discussion time. Sanchita, Tatapati, all are there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the project you read about?
was about Delhi Metro, sir. Section.
Okay. Okay. It's a project or program?
It's a project, sir. Divided into 3 phases.
Okay. Any other answer? Whether it is a project or program?
Sir, it's a project.
It's a project. Okay. What is the definition of program?
Coordinating related projects is program.
In a coordinated way. Okay. Here we can say it is a program. This program consists of how many phases?
3 phases. 3 phases.
3 phases. Each one is an individual project. Because see, imagine you are doing a project, railway track laying. At one point in time, you stop, the other phase will come and join. So we can say it is a program. Number of 3 related projects are managed in a coordinated way. Okay, let us now restrict ourselves to the phase 1. We'll call it project 1. What is the scope of this project?
The prompt came again for 5 minutes.
That's okay. What is the? We can close it within 5 minutes. Can you quickly tell me what is the scope of this project, phase 1?
Ahead of time, like before 1.5 year.
Okay. So I will tell you. The scope is laying down the 65-kilometer railroad is the scope.
Hmm.
What is the time? 10 years is the timeline.
Hmm.
But they completed in 7 years and
3 months.
9 months.
9 months.
Okay. Because they saved 2 years and 9 months. They were well ahead of the schedule. They saved that much money.
Hmm.
From the day one, the project become profitable.
Profitable.
This project is also had lot of difficulties. They overcome risk like doing construction under the heart of the city, like under Palika Bazaar, they were digging. Lot of risk associated with that. They did a very good risk assessment and communicating with general public and government. Stakeholder management was excellent.
Hmm.
This was a showcase project for India. Since time is lost, very less, I would like to close the session now. So tomorrow onwards, let us have more time on case study
Yes,
discussion.
yes, sir. I'll check on settings.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Okay, I think in how many more minutes are there?
2 to 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, with this we will close the session. I will be sending you one lean case study today, maybe after 1 hour. That lean case study is related to Nokia. Tomorrow we will learn about lean management.
Yes, sir.
You can provide your
Yes,
feedback on today's session in our WhatsApp group. Whether I am fast or slow or too slow, accordingly I can plan. Again, we can the lessons learned.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Okay, let us have more interaction tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I'll check the settings. Sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.